Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. Paula Vail here. Welcome to Elevating Your Life. And today we are just going to have a fun, elevating, and celebrating show. I am so happy to share with you again Michael Andre Ford. He is an angel intuitive, and he helps people literally meet, hear, and see angels, as well as other loving figures. He is the author of the ebook Listening to Angels, available on Amazon, which is absolutely amazing. And we just really wanted to just have a fun show to celebrate. We're in the holidays and what that means, and celebrate our angels. So first off, Michael, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me back on, Paula. And I have to say, it's the season, no matter which holiday we're celebrating, it's the season to be a little thankful, slow down, have fun. And I have to say, I love your energy. So I hope all your guests in the past and your audience appreciates what a wonderful treat you are as a host for all of us. So thank you for doing what you do. And thanks again for having me back on.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you. Oh, I'm just so happy to be a part of the sharing of what you do and the energy connection to all of my guests. Yes, so grateful, so grateful. Well, we are going to have some fun today. And with this holiday theme, I have to say, I woke up this morning thinking every day can be a holiday, because really, isn't a holiday a celebration? So really, I could have a holiday every day just by celebrating that day. What do you think of that, Michael?
I think you can be happy in any moment, regardless of what you think your situation is. There doesn't have to be a reason to at least slow down a little. It might be over the top to suggest pure joy or laughter or fun, but I'm coming from the angel perspective in the sense that I literally help people let go, pump the brakes, get out of thinking, and no matter how dire the situation is, whatever they're in, to have a full-on experience, literally seeing, hearing, and feeling. And so I love the words joy, unconditional love, compassion, kindness, and maybe universe as well. I know these are kind of heady topics, but it's incredible that people can actually just be in their heart, get out of all the structure, all the organizations, the work stuff, the relationship stuff, any stress, and get a little help from not me. I just tee it up directly from beings of light, angels, fairies, a jinn, your past over relatives. It's all up to you. How much are you willing to let go?
Yes, I love that. That is so true. That is so true. And, yeah, we can be happy really for no reason if we want to, can't we? Just bring it on.
It's a great concept. And even the meditation, mindfulness, consciousness experts, we all still go back to 80% of our week is going to be thinking, no matter how much we're Olympic level letter goers. But it's fantastic to do. That's why running, exercise, hugging the dog, just little things that can help you slow down. I love jokes. I love colors. I love plants. I love the food thing. I love running. I try, you get locked back up here very quickly. All of us do. And this, again, is simply about getting out of what you know long enough to at least take a breath. And the brain is wonderful at convincing you that, suppose you were like, oh, okay, I'll at least take a breath to try to slow down. The brain's wonderful at convincing you that you took the breath, 20 minutes go by and you realize you actually never got there. The brain has a wonderful tendency to convince you of everything but what is.
Yes, yes. I've always believed, okay, the brain, it does have its duties, and yet the heart has its duties. I'm not going to give the whole schedule to the brain. The heart is really, really what's important. But I respect the brain, and it does have its duties. And I understand you have a Christmas joke for us today.
Okay, now I have a quick Christmas joke. It's just, and again, my philosophy is I try not to tell people much. There's already tons of knowing going on. It's like being at the Indianapolis 500 and trying to hand out a parking ticket. Good luck. There's so much thinking going on that's why I tell the dad jokes, for better or for worse. Here's one for you that's the holiday theme. It's Santa and Mrs. Claus at their summer retreat. Can't tell you where, Canada. They get 1 month off a year. It's June. They're on their back patio looking at a sunset going down mountain range, enjoying it, when Mrs. Claus standing next to Santa sees something out of the corner of her eyes, lightning bolts, dark clouds, it's coming their way. She turns to Santa and says, "Looks like reindeer." Look, if you can laugh, you can let go. And this is about if you can trust that angels exist and that more exists beyond your reality, thinking what you know, you're allowing the universe to do its job. You're trusting that the universe isn't just some empty space out there, that love is a big portion of this, that love is all there is, that 70s Beatles song or wherever that comes from. Love, actually, the theme of all those mushy movies that we love. Love is really important. But what I was going to say is if you can just have a little bit of faith that angels exist, trust that they exist, your answers and much more will come. If you don't want to take that step, but you can at least trust there's a possibility of it, have one-way conversations out loud, quietly. If you do it out loud, don't do it at the supermarket, don't get caught. Do it in the shower and have an out loud conversation. Hey, universe, if you really exist, pour it out. Start allowing a little bit more each day. And I'm not talking much, 5 minutes here, 2 minutes there. It'll help you mentally unwind from the stress that is called thinking. And I'm talking before you go do yoga, before you run, before you start cooking, before you get into the car, either direction, going to work, from work, anything you can do to go down the mindful consciousness path. But there's so much more than the researchers allow, the institutes allow. The whole holistic landscape hasn't yet embraced the concept that there are beings kind of transdimensional within us, around us. You can see them full on, fully available. Any answers to any questions, they can help you alter your path. You can get healing and more. And it's the Christmas holiday time frame. So why wouldn't you take a chance and get a little more joy inbound?
Yes, I love that. I love that. And we have messages sent to us all the time, don't we? By angels, that really just being open to it can amaze us.
Just walking into a bookstore and going a little slower. Don't know so much. And that's the surprise, like allowing for surprises in the moment, in the week. Don't have to have a destination if you're going to go run an errand. Your little intuition, your voice, isn't yours necessarily. I hate to rock anybody's world, but half the advice, the good half, the stuff you've gotten over time, I'm guaranteeing you it's your angel crew or team, your cheerleaders, plus family members and spirit guides and other stuff. And if you're agnostic, atheist, I'm not talking from any personal religious philosophical standpoint. I mean, love and compassion are my lingo, but you're okay wherever you're at. I'm simply suggesting there's something a little more than human thinking that's available to all of us. And it's very loving, very helpful. And you can get detailed answers. The record's 49 pages in Australian, 9 hours of just listening. I'm off running at the time for an hour or so. I'm not standing next to the person the whole time. No way.
And it's so amazing how there is such a team of angels out there and spirits, really more than you can almost comprehend. There's so much out there beyond our human thinking.
So the lesson before us all, and we'll never quite learn it, and that's what part of life is about, discovering your unique life path, of course, and then allowing for more love in each moment. It costs you nothing. It's the whole point of the exercise. But there's thinking, and there's what we know, and we think we have to be somewhere. We think there's a lack. We think there's this. We think this situation or this person is intractable. If I'm making up a word, fine. It's in concrete. It ain't moving, and Uncle Joe is the meanest guy around. It's, again, back to Christmas Carol. We think Scrooge is a mean guy. We forget he's the nicest guy at the end of the book. Everything is always changing all the time. And so allowing for a little more possibility is the key to all this. There's tons of experts who will put their hands on their hips and say, there's no way this is possible, but they're never going to try. And I love my shoes that I'm sitting in because you're not really relying on me. It takes me some energy. I get sleepy afterwards, but people as a group, if they've owned it individually, can have a full-on experience.
Yes.
End of story. You can see full on if you're really comfortable in your room with wings, without wings. Angels can hold the space and your relatives can come in as well. Most people are comfortable with like a backyard or 4 houses away, their backyard. It's so much for what we know. We're so used to paying the bills. The rat race, thinking, conditional this. I'm my role in career, I'm a parent, you don't understand my situation, I have 5 kids. It's this, frazzled. We're not used to pumping the brakes and having to take a breath, smile, and do something for ourselves to sort of kindle what a lot of groups talk about, that inner joy, that inner being, taking a breath, the Shakespeare, to be or not to be. That's critical for all of us. And that's the fundamental sort of foundation for having the experience.
Yes, yes. And, it's so true that life is so full of possibilities. We have so many possibilities. And if we just open up and say, let's bring it on. I say yes to possibilities, love, manifestation, connections. Oh my gosh, what can happen in our lives? It's amazing.
There's a lot of possibility with this in the future. It's yet to be widespread embraced. A few thousand folks have done this. I've got 60 plus testimonials, another one coming in from a nice institute. And I think it'll be more popular as time goes by. I think the real jaw dropper down the road at some point will be a group of folks being able to see an angel come in collectively. That's a lot. So why don't we backpedal a little and not speculate too much, but if a person's gung-ho and is like, oh, I already believe in angels, or at least I know the universe is sparkly, Disney-like, privately, you don't have to let Paula or myself know. Why don't you guys make a request, anybody listening or watching, ask for a little more of an assist with life, whatever you can allow for. Try not to have too much of a concrete approach to whatever the situation you're asking for help on. If you're in the hole money-wise or anything else, try to take a breath on it. Try not to be fixated a certain sort of vibration or a certain approach on that topic, and allow for a different type of consciousness that comes in that allows for the fix, the change, the solution. And why not ask for a little help, a surprise over the next few weeks or month, for a little help from angels and other loving beings to come in. I know that's a bit of a stretch for some listeners, but others, if you don't ask, you don't get. So ask more is my suggestion.
Oh, I love that. Ask more. And as we look into going into a new year, we can ask more, say yes, open those doors for possibilities. Wow.
It's whatever you can allow for. And again, when you're up and thinking, you're kind of cutting off the life force or your connection to the universe. It becomes closer to dental floss the more tough you're getting. It's really easy to act out of the brain, fear, thinking, ego. Not all thinking's bad, but a lot of it is at least an increment of negativity. It's, reacting. It's really easy to judge people, especially these days. Oh, that person's a jerk. If you've got to do that, just say they're complex, but allow for a little bit of change. The more you can allow them to grow, the more you grow. It's compassion. Compassion's the key to all of this, and some patience. Everyone's firmly on their path, and allowing that to be the case is perfect. Trying to tell people what to do, how to behave, how to think is really coming back on you in a restrictive way.
Oh, that's a great point. That's a great point. Because really, we only control our own mind, our own selves, and what we put out there, don't we? We're our own director. That's what I like to call it. We make our own production.
So angels are here to help. If you've got the guts to ask, you deserve your answers. It's a bit of a stretch, again, for a lot of folks to allow for, but there are photos of angels. Again, people get to see with their own eyes, so even the photos become a little bit irrelevant. Here are 4 archangels. I've taken these photos daytime, nighttime, indoors, outdoors. And for the listeners, I just held up a photograph with 4, I call them rainbow pie slices. They look like triangles, 4 next to each other. People can see with their own eyes. You can see with your eyes closed. You just feel a connection. You feel a little bit of joy, an energy whoosh, if you want to call it that. you start hearing, and at first it's your own voice. The second you let go, you get full on personality. And again, no limits on the details, no limits for anything, actually. So you aren't used to being able to ask, you aren't used to being able to get. And so none of this, all of it is fish out of water for all of us, which is why we all retreat right back into thinking. Even people who have done this service, it's not that they reject it later. It's just no one's going to run around, or not many are going to run around and say, oh my God, everyone should do this. Some do. It's so much. We've grown up with so much thinking. We're not used to being able to shed it and experience immediate happiness for no reason whatsoever. A weight comes off. There's plenty of people who yawn, plenty of people who cry. I didn't tell them a bad dad joke. It's just, they're in the moment. And I guess that's probably the big thing, is being in the moment, not letting the weight of perceived stuff that's all generated by the brain. It's not necessarily the reality of what stuff is. Stuff is always going to be in flux. The ebb and flow, the contrast, as Esther Hicks would say, it's what makes everything amazing. How do you know what a good cup of coffee is? I get challenged all the time. Well, how do you know you're actually talking to an angel? How do you know a good cup of coffee? At some point, what do you trust for your experience? Mm-hmm. This is full on sensory, smelling, tasting, feeling, seeing, hearing, all languages spoken. I really can't do any more short of like levitating. And I think that would be kind of dumb. It would take away from the actual point of the exercise. For those willing to take a little chance, like check out the 15-minute book, Listening to Angels, on Amazon, and do it yourself. You never need me again.
Yes, yes. And doing sessions with you like I have, that was just absolutely amazing. You know, people can do that. Will you share with everyone how they could get a hold of you to set something up like that?
Sure. My website's easy. It's just my full name. It's Michael, Michael, Andre like the champagne, Andre, Ford like the car. So michaelandreford.com, tons of links to social media, tons of links to like my Amazon author profile, Apple, to pick up that little $4.99 book that's been out since 2014. It is literally a one-page forward, one-page intro, 5 pages how to listen to angels. A couple pages on the intro, you meet 7 angels, including Archangel Michael. Gabriel's in there if anybody wants a bonus 8th angel. But there's a little appendix that I think is the best part. Why angels now? And it's just mankind could use a little more compassion, kindness. It is 2 pages of explanation. And if you think I wrote any of it, yeah, thank you so much. But it's so fluffy, happy, and it's angel vibe stuff. If you're having a bad day, you'll never be able to pick up that book. If you're having a great day or want to have a great day and you can allow for it, you'll feel it. The epilogue is by an angel named Dale, who coached Nadia Comaneci, and it really covers life in a beautiful sort of metaphoric way. I've got that on my social media platforms, I think Facebook and LinkedIn. So check it out there. It's free.
Yes. And I loved your comment about how, you know, we can have so much weight on us, and to relieve that weight and just become light and joyous and, you know, happy is a huge thing, because there is so much weight. There's so much heaviness around us, and we can lift that, can't we, Michael?
We're all professional thinkers, and we are all like Wall Streeters. Now, Wall Street, you're paid to act like you know something. And sometimes it pays, and you hear this all the time too. If you've got this guts to say, I just don't know. You're in a pinch, it's a crisis, and you say, I don't know. Sometimes that's the best answer. And the real fact of the matter is we all just really don't know much. Look at science, it's changing all the time, everything. And does the scientific community really want to run out and meet Einstein? Does the Buddhist community really want to meet Buddha? Does the Christian community want to meet Jesus, God, Mary? You can be Neil Donald Walsh, essentially, and have these experiences. And I'm overgeneralizing. It's so big that it boggles the structured thinking side of our brains. And so it is for the not faint at heart, the ones who are a little bold, the ones who say bungee cord bridge and jump, let me at it, I'll do it. Now, I'm the first to say I'm a super slow learner. It takes me 2 years to learn stuff that I pass along in 10 seconds. So I'm here to just say it's far easier than you think it is. You can actually meet, there's 100+ angels. You can meet an angel, you can hear, you trust long enough to let the personality come in. You get hugs. The hugs can become healing. Colorblind people have seen color. There's a ton of experiences that just all of it boggles our reasonable minds, our societal minds. But meanwhile, you get to have a lot of fun. The fairies are fantastic. You get to see rainbow glitter. They'll make any color firefly for you. They're also fantastic. If you are a scientist and Einstein's not good enough, get the rest of your formula handed over from a couple fairies. You just have to be in your heart, has to be genuine, authentic. It's your own personal experience. I try to get out of your way as much as possible. In fact, it's not the 1920s, 30s thing. What point would it be for me to tell anybody much when you can have your own direct experience? That to me is the ultimate form of extra compassion.
So true. When you have your own experience and feel the connection, feel the love, that the angels are with you and feel those messages. Oh my gosh, myself, I swear I get messages from clouds. When my mom passed, I walked outside my porch door one day looking at the clouds, and there was a heart-shaped cloud. And I knew it was a message from my mom. I mean, and there's so many things when we just get out of our way and just kind of keep our eyes and ears and hearts open.
Our comfort zone can be really narrow. And I'm the first one to admit I've had a really narrow comfort zone most of my life. What are you going to allow for? For me, probably the width of a penny for what I would allow for. 10 pennies wider in terms of bandwidth now, and I'm allowing for a little bit more. And I'm here just to say all of it's really easy. I had a summer maybe 8 years ago where I was still trying to get used to this, and every cloud was a turtle. And I think the following summer, every cloud was a dragon. And I know it was kind of like angels trying to get me to lighten up and loosen up, and it would have me looking at clouds at least. If you can just take a breath and slow down and acknowledge that your thinking is not the end all be all. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not trying to make this too woo-woo-woo, but I probably would win the prize for being over the top. But the hilarious thing is, even the woo-woo-woo spiritual publishing communities, the wellness institutes, everything, it's just, we're not at a point where this can be embraced just yet. So I'm way underappreciated, but that's where the dad jokes come in. And I try not to take myself too seriously. I think we all do that. I think we all have that eternal self-importance that marks kind of mankind, and it blocks what would be a little more rapid fun and joy for all of us. Yes, you can have all your answers. Yes, you can do this every 3 months and get every answer to everything, and lots of how-to steps from angels who have a much broader perspective, including Native American chiefs. Their expertise are helping you navigate from point A to point B, dull knife, red shirt, Geronimo. But at the end of the day, you can get all your answers. I still argue a couple hugs from some chiefs, some angels are worth 1,000 questions. A hug's a hug.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so great how those little things can help us just lighten up and be open, like one of your dad jokes, or listening to a favorite song, or, a special little thing that makes you happy. Little things can help us just open up and, just be more set in the moment and feeling.
Cup of mint tea, lighting a candle, stepping out your door, taking a breath of fresh air, getting out just in nature a little bit, out of whatever your normal routine is. It's the routine that sinks us. And life isn't a routine, live it. That would be, I'm borrowing from a particular angel who said that. There's very little I say that's original, but after 10 years of this and people donating their questions or answers that they got from angels and from chiefs and others, there's a lot of wisdom that just, it should apply to us all. And again, if someone's listening and saying it's not possible, they're absolutely correct. And if someone's listening and they're like, no, I had a figure who disappeared. He pulled me out of a burning car. It wasn't my time. The state trooper arrived and said there was no one else. So you couldn't have been pulled out of a car. And you're like, no, but I know it was my guardian angel saved me. They're correct. And my point is, this isn't about being correct. If you line up 7 billion people with 40 trillion thought forms, you're going to quickly find that a lot of these thoughts cancel each other out. They're exact opposites. And yet that's how everyone's feeding their energy. So this isn't about that. This is about being in the heart where there's a broader, proper understanding. I will just say it's love-centric, to pick a term.
Yeah.
Compassion, kindness. So it's back to how you treat others and do it in a way how you want to be treated. That pretty much ends about 2/3 of our cultural debates out there currently raging with negativity everywhere. So A lot of folks are spending a lot of negativity and not realizing they're judging of others and themselves, and putting pressure on others is a form of negativity. It's not love. No one's running around right now with a banner saying peace, love, the 70s. How about that?
Yeah, I remember the 70s.
Yeah, Woodstock. We need to get Woodstock back in action again.
Yeah. Woohoo. Yes, yes. Oh, disco dancing. I remember those days. And that's so great to think about and realize that we really have so many possibilities and so many caring and loving things around us, Michael. And yeah, getting out of the brain and getting into the heart here and there and taking a deep breath, that can be huge, can it?
Sure. Even popping in your favorite happy movie can help get it done. Look, it's the holiday season. A lot of people feel extra stressed this time of year for whatever reason. But remember, reason isn't going to get you anywhere. It's the current moment. And we're probably borrowing from a half dozen self-help, woo spiritual experts out there. But the point is, the present moment is your doorway into your heart. You have to find your own way to let go of what you know. You know, and you beat yourself up with the same 30 thoughts every day, every hour. Some of us are really hard on ourselves, and then others, and we react to others. And some of us may be more sensitive than we realize, and it's triple that. So taking a breath, anything to just break the rat race, the spinning, to let go and enjoy the ride a little bit more. And it's only going to last for an hour or two. It's when you can rinse and repeat and do it again a couple times a week. That's it. It makes a huge difference. Meanwhile, if you're really gutsy, talk to angels one way. At some point, it's the Winnie the Pooh quote: everyone talks to animals, no one listens. So at some point, listen for a response. Julia Roberts in Eat, Pray, Love, she's in the bathroom. And finally she hears, go to bed, Elizabeth, go to bed. And that's her angel talking to her, telling her to stop crying about the divorce that's going on and just go get some sleep. Yeah. So we've all seen it in other people. We don't want to recognize it in ourselves. And it doesn't help anybody to hear, oh, life's far simpler than you think it is. Yeah. So.
Oh, Michael, this is so great. Well, we have about 2 minutes left. What last words do you want to leave with everybody today, Michael?
Ask more. I think this is the holiday season. I don't care if you want to call it, for folks who like the words praying or making a request through the heart, I call it just allowing. This is just about a little leap of faith, whether it's religious, non-religious, it's the same letting go. You're cool however you are. No need to change or anything like that. Just drop into your heart and learn to ask more. Go for little stuff. Can I have a better walk? Surprise me. Allow for some surprises. Allow for a little more fun. It's a different energy vibration. If you want the science version of it, that's probably yet to be completely proven. You're just changing how you roll in an invisible, energetic way. You can see that energy anytime you want. Auras, life force, Star Wars, the force. But so just ask for a little more and allow for it to actually come in. Enjoy the moment.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. And everyone out there, holiday love, hugs, and blessings. I celebrate you. I celebrate this moment. Michael, I celebrate you and this moment. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing this fantastic show and messages that you share with so many. I'm very grateful.
Thanks for having me on. And I'll leave with a fairy photo, even if you're on the radio, it's a photo of a fairy.
Yes, yes. And if you want to see the show in video, you can at patreon.com/Paula Vail. Everyone have a beautiful day. Angel hugs. And I'm just grateful. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.